Hello again, Honky Tonks, and this video is about Tommy Robinson, or as the high priests of political correctness prefer to call him, Stephen Yaxley Lennon. Why do they keep saying that anyway? Because apparently using his real name makes their sanctimonious nonsense sound more official, doesn't it? Now, Tommy, or rather somebody on the outside, has gone and pulled his documentary Silenced, the one that racked up 167 million views on X, give or take a few million angry clicks from the perpetually offended. And why has he done that? Because the powers that be, in their infinite wisdom, have decided that free speech is all well and good until someone actually uses it to say something they don't like. Then it's off to the gulag with you. Or in this case, an 18-month stretch in a cell for contempt of court. Contempt of court, good God. Honestly, if contempt of this kangaroo court system was a crime, half the country would be behind bars by now. So let's get the facts straight, shall we? Tommy's documentary Silenced was about a Syrian refugee kid who got into a scrap at school. Sounds like a storm in a teacup, right? Wrong, because Tommy dared to question the sacred narrative, the one that says we must all bow down before the altar of multiculturalism and never ever ask awkward questions. He made the film, it got traction, and surprise, surprise, the establishment lost their collective marbles. Next thing you know, there's an injunction, a libel case, and I think it was £100,000 fine, wasn't it? Anyway, because apparently telling a story that doesn't fit the BBC's narrative is now a criminal offence. So fast forward to October 2024, and Tommy's locked up for breaching this injunction by keeping the film out there. Then the judge, probably polishing his wig and sipping a latte, says Tommy's got to purge his contempt by taking it down if he wants a chance at early release. 6 months later, and the video's gone, deleted, vanished from X after hitting numbers that would make most Hollywood blockbusters jealous. And what do we hear from the usual suspects? Smug cheers from the Guardian reading, quinoa munching brigade who think censorship is just fabulous as long as it's targeting someone they've been told to hate. Now, let's pause for a moment and ask ourselves what's really going on here. A man makes a film, it gets seen by millions, and instead of debating it, refuting it, or, God forbid, engaging with it, the response is to lock him up and bully him into pulling it. That's not justice, folks. That's a tantrum dressed up in a black robe, and the message is crystal clear. Toe the line, or we'll crush you. Doesn't matter how many people want to hear what you've got to say. Doesn't matter if your film's been viewed more times than a cat video on YouTube. Speak out of turn and you're done. Oh, and it gets better. The same people who cry rivers over freedom of expression when it comes to avant-garde artists scribbling obscenities on a canvas are the first to demand the guillotine when it's a working-class bloke from Luton with a smartphone and a point to make. Hypocrisy? Yeah, of course it is. It's practically an Olympic sport in this country. And don't get me started on the X platform itself. 1 minute it's all free speech for everyone, thanks Elon by the way, and the next it's bending over backwards to appease the thought police when a few MPs throw a hissy fit. Funny how that works, isn't it? Now, I'm not saying Tommy's a saint, far from it. He's a lightning rod, a provocateur, and he's got a knack for winding up the wrong people. But since when is that a crime? If we're going to start jailing everyone who ruffles feathers, we better build a few more prisons because the queue is going to be long. The real crime here is the precedent. If they can silence Tommy Robinson, not just by locking him up, but by forcing him to erase his own work, what's to stop them coming for you, or me, or anyone else who dares to think for themselves? It's not a slippery slope, folks. It's a bloody cliff. And they're not just silencing him, they're martyring him. You don't get 167 million views by accident. People are watching because they're hungry for something the mainstream won't touch with a barge pole. They're watching because they're sick of being lied to, patronised, and told to shut up and eat their version of the truth. Take that video down and you don't kill the message, you amplify it. You turn Tommy into a symbol, and symbols are a lot harder to lock up than people. So what's the solution? Well, for starters, how about we stop pretending censorship is the answer to bad ideas? If Silenced was full of lies, prove it. Put out a better film, argue your case, but no, that's too much like hard work. It's so much easier to slap on an injunction and call it a day. Meanwhile, the rest of us are left wondering how long it'll be before we're all purging our contempt just to stay out of trouble. So the video's been taken down, and fair play, I think it's the right thing to do. Tommy's done enough, the video's done enough people have watched it, enough people have the right idea what's going on. And he's done enough time in prison, enough time from his family, friends, etc., freedom. and he doesn't really need to prove anything anymore, so just let him go home, and just put a line under the whole thing. So there we go, that's my video. Let me know what you think, as usual, in the comments. If you haven't subscribed yet, then please do. And I'll see you at the next video. Until then, keep your eyes peeled and your wits sharp, because in this brave new world, speaking your mind isn't just a right, it's a revolutionary act. And if you don't believe me, ask Tommy Robinson, or rather don't. He's probably too busy trying to avoid the thought police like the rest of us. Roger Trout.